me. The music is context sensitive. When you go in the water, there's water music. Right, but then also sticking out a little bit. Oops. Why did I lose the slabs? All right. I'm not sure if this is the fastest way. It might not be. Because half the time I'm doing nothing. Just diving down again. guess this is why people don't do massive construction very often these days. So, architecture history. Well, no. Need to be careful what I say. A lot of the oldest surviving structures are massive stone constructions. Famous example is the pyramids in Egypt. And it's like it takes a lot of work to move all that stone. So it's very labor intensive and very expensive. You use a lot of material. Whereas these days, if you look at a skyscraper these days, let's say the World Trade Center, the one that fell down, we used like a frame construction. So that was a steel frame construction where you have steel columns and beams, and then you have like you fill in the walls in between. So you use a lot less material to enclose a lot more space, and the building as a whole is a lot lighter than the massive solid stone. And I was gonna say that, you know, this is progress, that over time we have become more efficient in our use of building materials. I was gonna say that until I remembered that, you know, the World Trade Center fell down after it got hit by a plane. And the thing with the frame structures is that they're a lot less solid. I mean, they serve their function fine, but you know, they can last hundreds of years. They might not last thousands of years. Like, right? Like if there was an earthquake, the pyramids would not fall down because it's just a pile of rock. Like, you shake a pile of rock, it's still a pile of rock. It doesn't really fall down. I mean, it might crack a bit, but in general, it's a lot more solid. Whereas the steel frame structures, you imagine if it gets hit by a big earthquake, they might all fall down the same way the World Trade Center did. So like the frames, they'll last hundreds of years if they're well maintained. They are unlikely to last thousands of years. And so it's quite possible that there were plenty of light frame structures back in the Egyptian times, except that they all fell down over the years, and so we don't have them anymore. It's not that the Egyptians only built massive stone structures, it is that everything that isn't a massive stone structure just fell down over the centuries. And so all we have left is the solid stone structures. So it's we need to be careful how we interpret the historical record. Right, just because a certain thing exists in the historical record and other things don't exist, doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't exist at the time. It could just be that they weren't preserved. And I was thinking about this because I'm doing massive construction right now. Massive stone pylons. Right, and then at least I'm dodging the really deep ocean part here. Otherwise it would take like twice as long to build one of these. I don't even think that these two are the same size. Now look at this. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's a 7. One is 6, the other 7. And in a way, the more advanced engineering, advanced in the sense that it requires more mathematics and physics, that might be like less prevalent in the archaeological record or the architecture record, because the frame structures, they're less solid. And so they're less likely to survive the centuries. So like, if you consider again the pyramids versus Gothic cathedrals. Gothic cathedrals in terms of engineering, in terms of architecture, is a lot more advanced than the pyramids. But Gothic cathedrals are so fragile. Relatively speaking. And like there are structures, historical structures that we have written descriptions of that no longer exist today because of, natural disasters. The Great Colossus, the lighthouse at Alexandria. Is it at Alexandria? The Great Lighthouse. The Great Lighthouse they found it, by the way. There was an earthquake and it fell into the ocean. In fact, the whole city fell into the ocean. And in a way, the Great Lighthouse is like a frame structure. It's hollow on the inside. And for a stone frame structure, it was kind of remarkable how tall they managed to make it. But as I said, an earthquake fell into the ocean. Whereas in terms of engineering, the pyramids is like, it's thick. It's just kind of thick and dumb. It's literally just a pile of rocks. I mean, it's the amazing part is how big it is. It's just a massive pile of rocks. But in terms of the structural engineering, it's just a pile of rocks. It's not very remarkable. The remarkable part is the sheer size of it. And what I'm trying to say is that the Egyptians were capable of more advanced structural engineering than the pyramids. But the more advanced stuff didn't survive. Whereas the pile of rocks did survive. And it might give us a erroneous impression of what Egyptian architecture really was like. Same with the Romans, I guess. Same with everybody. I do like how this looks, though. The massive pylon, that is. There's something about just mass. Alright, took me like 20 minutes just to build 2 pylons. But look at the size of this thing, right? Like you imagine you're in a boat. Just going between the bridge pylons there, that's cool, right? Alright, so I'm gonna end the stream here for today. When I come back next week, I'm gonna spend another 20 minutes building 2 pylons underneath there and there. This one, and we completely missed the. Oh, we don't miss the deep ocean. This is the deep ocean. So this pylon will go down to the deep ocean, unfortunately. This one kind of goes down to here as well. And then also, I guess I don't do the next part yet because that's not really a bridge. And then I figure out the spacing on the supports here. And then I figure out where I want to put the intermediate pylons. Alright, that's all for next week. See you next time.